5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. OG's turn to ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds. OG's turn to ban. Team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Turn to pick. Spirit. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to pick.
Chen.
Dire team pick.
Ember Spirit.
Dire team ban.
Enchantress.
OG's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have returned. It is game number 2 of our EU playoff matchup between OG and Kinguin. We are now well into the draft for our second game. It's going to be an interesting one as we jump into it. My name is Mott. With me is Cinderin, Draskell, and Toby from abroad. We are here. We're into the draft. And boys, it's Chen Ember Spirit for OG versus Venge Enchantress. What are we looking at here, Sin?
I just love that you made it sound like his nickname is Toby from abroad. I really hope that catches on.
That would be great.
I'm making shirts now, like through Compton. It's all about abroad.
Abroad.
Toby from abroad.
That's my favorite place to visit, guys.
I don't know about this draft, man. We got this opening, and I'm just looking at an OG that's looking to 2-0 this. I am not a fan of Enchantress this patch very much. I think the idea is that she's supposed to counter jungle Chen, But for me, this is a remnant of the past when Enchantress and Chen's cooldowns were more favorable for Enchantress. Nowadays, hold Persuasion, 10-second cooldown. What's Enchant level 1 is like 50-something, I believe.
Yeah.
It's
pretty long.
I'm gonna look it up right now. Let me see. It is 55. So you go in that jungle and counter jungle Chen, you take his creep, you're like, ha, I got your creep, and then Chen takes it back, and you're like, oh, I'll see you in 45 seconds then, buddy, I'll come back. It's like, it doesn't really work that way.
And
so.
not just that, but you also, like, Enchantress, she doesn't have Penitence, which I think is a really good ability right now for Chen, honestly.
The other thing I feel that's even bigger is, like, Kinguin have opened again, and this is something that Sinner touched on last game, with 2 heroes that pretty much cannot kill creeps.
No wave clear.
So, I mean, obviously they have 3 picks to shore that up, but I'm looking at a hero with Power Shot who can clear waves, I'm looking at an Ember Spirit who can clear waves, and I'm already thinking to myself, okay, not only are you behind in the fact that you can't really deal with the Chen, but you have another hero in Venge who doesn't really do well against Chen either, and very limited in its usefulness against Ember Spirits, so what is your game plan? And again, no wave clear.
I can understand they can get tempted to pick Oracle just because they see Ember and Windranger. Like, Fortune's End is amazing this game, but once again, who's going to stop Chen from dominating lanes? Who's going to stop Ember from taking off like the last game? Like, Oracle's not an Ember counter in my book. It's decent, like, you have something, but it's not one of those, oh damn, they picked Oracle, what do we do?
Yeah.
You still just play your Ember.
Maybe it's just the early enabler. Like, you're getting a VS and an Enchantress, and you're first picking up the Vengeful Spirit. Maybe it's just meant to be full aggression. Get
I think they're going
to first pick up and go for it.
Yeah.
I think they're going to go Drow. I feel like that's the only thing that really makes sense here for a Kinguin's draft. Either you go Drow and you just all in on winning your lanes and playing with your 4 ranged heroes and dealing damage, or you need to pick some serious wave clear now because you don't have anything. OG are going to grab Lion as their position 5 with the Chen. Generally likes playing with a 5 that is looking to make plays.
They did the Huskar.
It is the Huskar.
They have no wave clear, man. I don't know. I feel like Kinguin...
It's all out aggression, man. That's all this is going to be. It's just straight up aggression.
How do they get in a position where this Huskar can start taking towers when they can't kill the creep waves? OG can just spam out waves all game if they want to. They have Power Shot, they have Flame Guard, they have Chen wave clear. Lion is okay-ish, and I would imagine even their last pick that they're going to get for either Thompson or Ana will have even more. I'm just concerned looking at Kinguin's draft. They have Oracle Huskar, so there's absolutely a way of setting this up by getting a Roshan and trying to ball down a lane, but it's under the condition. If they lose their lanes, I feel like this game is actually unwinnable. They have to do well in lanes somehow.
Yeah.
And my big question mark is still, how does Ench do that?
Once you just run Ench as that 3 position, you turn her into that DPS range killer, and then put the Oracle VS +1 on the offlane for King.
So safe lane Ench for exotic deer. I mean, more than likely, I was talking about how I don't like the Ench against Chen for the counter-jungling purposes, so I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think that was the idea at any point in this. It's just core Ench has lost a lot of its potential, a lot of its power by having nerfs to the first spell until you have high levels. The Untouchable is not as useful, and it still has those glaring weaknesses with wave clear. So I think, I agree, you probably put the Enchantress in a safe lane role and try to put pressure on the enemy safe lane. But you got to be careful with what Chen can do to your lanes. This Huskar is likely to go mid, and that's the other thing. You need to show what lane Huskar is playing now, probably. And he can get counterpicked. Huskar doesn't win every lane.
Yeah, this is...
He actually loses to Windranger. Just put Windranger mid.
He could get control this game, too. Even if he tries jumping on somebody, you just pick more heroes for OG, and then he doesn't do anything in this game, it feels like. I don't know.
What fixes Kinguin's problems? I feel like that has so many.
It just has to be all out aggression, right? Like, even if it's VS or Enchantress core, either way.
Yeah, but like aggression is one thing, but you have to remember, like, they can't kill any creeps. So even if you're very aggressive in one lane, you could have an Ember Spirit in another place in the map and a Windranger and whatever the heck OG decide to last pick for Thompson or Ana somewhere else. It's the same story as what happened in game 1.
Well, okay, I'm not even kidding. I was actually thinking they could pick Tide, but I don't think it's good. I once again don't think it solves their problems. This is, again, it's a ball up and go down one lane and hope for the best, but you have to win the lanes. Tide is not a lane winner. He wins against very few heroes. I think OG have the tools here. But we'll see. We'll see if Kinguin can somehow make this work. I will say, if they win their lanes or do well enough, and they get an Aegis, and they manage to go down a lane before OG are online, this is winnable. But the timing window and the difficulty of execution for this dire draft, I think, is really high. Like, this needs to be crisp. They're definitely putting themselves under pressure, which is a bit reminiscent of game 1. Like, the execution for that dire lineup was super difficult. The games are just hard to play. OG have some time to think here. What do they get? I feel like they will want to get a hero that just does well against Tidehunter.
They got
lane,
monkeys
possibly.
still available.
Oh, actually, not against Tidehunter. They want a laner against Huskar. I think either they put Windranger mid for Thompson and get an offlaner for Mad, or they put Windranger offlane and
They
counter
could
the
just
Huskar.
dual lane mid. They don't have to.
I don't like that so much. I wouldn't like that solution as much as other options. The Chen will, because if you want to dual lane mid with Ember, because he's still gonna get crushed by Huskar.
Either that or whatever they pick for Thompson, assuming Anna's playing Ember.
Whoa,
Nature's Prophet. That's a hero that can lane against us.
Yeah.
This is a team that's like,
Oh.
okay, they have one play which is to go down a lane, we're gonna split push.
It's Thompson
Okay,
That's
Windranger.
basically it. Yeah.
It is.
And
alright.
Mad is gonna be playing here. I like this pick a lot. I think this is, it just shows that OG understand what they're up against. This to me is, okay, we're gonna have a strong laner who can join fights early, and if the enemy team start trying to ball up, he will be split pushing like crazy. So he's putting so much pressure on them. Like when they start going down a lane, you put a clock on them basically. Because Fioren's pushing somewhere else. Who's gonna defend?
This lineup has 0 catch from Kinguin as well. No way of actually stopping the Furion.
It is completely all in.
So it sounds like you guys are pretty. I think I know what team you're pulling for in this game.
Yeah, I feel
I
like
would-
this is a pretty big outdraft.
I would be shocked if OG.
That's and Kinguin already down 0-1. The good news is there's a lower bracket, but OG clearly dominant in game 1. Looking like it's going to be more of the same in game 2. They do have a Huskar. I mean, you kind of can rely on this hero to take over the game, but the big issue, like you guys were talking about, is wave. Whoa, what is? Okay, my map was all screwed up, but anyway, we'll give it to.
Sorry, but mine did the same thing. What? It was real screwy.
It was like upside down, wasn't it, or something? I
Yeah,
don't know.
it was upside down and in the bottom right corner.
I got really confused for a second, but that'll do it for me and Andy. So Toby, Sin, you guys take it away for game number 2.
All right, Sid. So now that we've established the fact that this game is going to be really close and the draft's like massively like not won by one side, this game should be interesting now, right?
I mean, once again, there is a chance, right? It's not like the dire auto lose. There's just some games where you look at the draft and you feel like, I favor this team 9 out of 10 times in this game, and that's how I feel about the dire. That doesn't mean they can't win, but I will be able to give you an almost 100% accurate assessment of this game minute 10. If they will be winning this game or not. There is so much pressure
I
on
will
them.
check in at minute 10. Begin the countdown, everybody. Minute 10. I want to see how this aggro lane goes. Like, because with the VS, Ench, Oracle, like how much do they actually get? And who do they get it against? Like you know, Anna's gonna be running in the safe lane, but Notel can rotate down there. The Chen can also move over too.
Ench is... They have 2 ways of removing Flame Guard. They have both the Fortune's End and Enchant in the lane, so it's definitely not that bad. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I would say what OG can do is they can concentrate on the other 2 lanes and let Ember catch up, or they can help Ember a lot with the Chen from the beginning, which looks like they will be doing, like you said. So
Yeah, GRX is already down here, Mr. Blightstone.
before we truly get into this game, I just want to say whether or not Kinguin do lose this game, like we are expecting them to, it's at least nice to see them like coming in with a plan and being creative and doing something else. But sometimes you can be a bit too cute or a bit too creative and your lineup just doesn't work very well. I'm saying that before the game even starts. I hope they have a good showing here and that it gets a bit more exciting than that, but
At least they thought through some fun stuff.
They definitely have been I'm sure OG are surprised. I'll tell you that. They were not expecting these 2 drafts, so it's something different from them for sure.
Yeah. I'm wondering too if that's when OG like seeing that Seb's hero pool, like when he had 5 of his heroes being banned out, and then being able to pick up the Spirit Breaker and still make it so effective in the synergy with an IO, just shows better things for OG. If you don't always get the exact draft you planned for, you can still do some good work. I'm watching this mid lane. Observer Ward's being planted down, but it's Alicia who's going to get zoned out by GRX. I think he also saw the Observer Ward being planted.
Like it. He's going to try to bully him away first, and then probably head back. Oh. As it looks, he's not interested in dewarding for now. He's actually interested in hitting Ellis Sash away instead of getting a creep. And using the chat wheel. So...
Sure. Why not? Want to keep my eye out
he
on
gets a
top
Satyr.
lane.
Just going to take this big Satyr and head down bottom with it, probably. He's realizing that the camp is blocked. Might sentry that one.
They got the Tornado creep actually in the middle of that fight in bottom lane. They can keep that control up a little bit longer, but it's Nimbus Spirit level 2. He doesn't have any control factors yet. Right, that top lane was actually getting dumped early on by Seb. Like, Partos had almost no CS when Seb was at 6-7. And it wasn't even a creep wave imbalance because it's coming in towards the Prophet now.
I didn't actually realize that Jerax had this Wild Wing when he was hunting the Venge. I was like, he should be taking a creep here. What's going on? But he already had it. I never saw him send it down there. Oh, this could be first blood. No Tail is out of position and killed off by 3.
Yeah, that was odd. Like, he wasn't that close to the tier 1 tower, but they're running out of a creep wave, and Chen wasn't really there to support. Nana doesn't really do much. Like, he's a Sleight of Fist Syrian chain. He's an extra control factor. But now they just go again.
No-Tail?
Throwing him out, they just root down No-Tail. Well, if at first you don't succeed, die and die again.
That was...
Second time he'll drop.
He wanted to break the clarity that was running on, I believe it was the Enchantress, and well, job done, but was that worth it? Probably not.
Doesn't feel like it. It's meant to be OG who has the early advantage. Thompson's actually in real trouble in mid. I think, does he burn to 5 of those spears?
He's fine. Might have to use it.
Gonna live?
He's using it.
Yeah, he does. 113.
Don't think he needed it, but better safe than sorry. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, Alicia. I heard that magic missile. Me watching as well for this rotation. Darkor. The Tornado's being a real pain in the butt to Kinguin's offlane, but they've still got 13-3 onto Exotic Deer. And the harassment into Anna's been quite good too. And they're going again for mid. Windrun goes down. Nisha doesn't have 6 yet. But they were looking to use the illusion room from the VS to try and go again onto Thompson.
Yeah, this is a nice lane matchup for Windrunner, so they actually feel like they might need to help the Huskar. This is a refreshing change for us to see a game where Huskar needs help in lane, because it feels like almost every game we've seen from both EU and NA qualifiers, the Huskars just had a free game, generally by being picked last, but you know, Kinguin picked it into Windrunner, and they didn't pick it last. So OG had time to plan for it and figure out what lane they want to do, and this is fine. Windrunner holds on.
Kako's in a lot of trouble in the trees. One more hit will do the job, but then you see him inside the fog of war. Moving up the Hadouken creep, it's looking, but already Kako ran down south, so they get the stun onto Jirax. He's still looking for his target. Now he'll get the information. They know where he is. Sleight of Fist is still on cooldown for Anna. And the Hadouken, it misses again! The juking from Oracle.
Nice one.
Meaning that OG continue to be killless in this bottom lane, but maybe not for much longer. No-Tail in through the trees. This time the Hadouken connects. And Anna is the one to get the kill onto the Enchantress.
So, since we've got a bit of a try versus try situation, which isn't that common, it obviously makes the offlane special in this game. It's a safe lane tied against an offlane Furion, and that lane right now is being won relatively comfortably by Mad. 3 bounty runes for OG here as well, so getting a little more advantage.
No. Sorry, never mind. Inner Vitality. Gotta remember. Balanced ability. The bottom lane, they're gonna try and go for Exotic Deer, but no more control. Actually, holding back with the Hadouken, knowing Exotic Deer still has those heavy one charges, and Anna had to use his own stick charges to complete the send back.
They need to be
careful. But they finally get that rotation in towards mid lane, so No-Tail holding the stun as long as he possibly can. Nisha with those stick charges. They even were bringing in the Wrath of Nature. Not that there's a lot of damage to a Huskar.
You need to be a bit careful with the send back bottom, right? They have 2 dispels. Both the Enchant... Oh, he's dead, by the way.
Yeah.
And Fortune's End should be able to purge off that Holy Persuasion, but maybe both of them were used when he did it. At least I saw Enchant being on cooldown, so... They did
I said that Wrath of Nature wasn't going to do a lot of damage by Nature's Prophet in towards the mid, who Thompson just dies. It actually hit the Enchantress so hard that Anna had that opportunity.
Could be worse. Oh, wait, no, it couldn't.
Faith in fate restored.
But this is still looking good for OG. They're down 1 kill, but they're up 1k gold.
Keeping the hex going.
So much damage.
That Harpy's doing so much work too. Just that range damage across the trees allows Anna to get the last hit in. And then they smoke to gank instantly after this too. It's because mid lane Nisha just life braked in towards Thompson. He's got his wind run up, going in with Focus Fire under the tower. They keep the stun control there thanks to No-Tail and the Wrath of Nature. Seb, very rarely do you see a Wrath of Nature find that kill onto a Huskar, but this is that case. And with a heavy rotation in towards mid lane, they can keep the pressure up with the creep skip of Seb.
This is such a great lane matchup against Huskar. Wind Ranger does so well. And he's gone for the perfect skill build as well this game. The max wind run with Focus Fire can actually bully Huskar out of lane. Now they're going to be forced to port in the Tide, but the tower's almost ready to
He's got no
gone.
Ravage.
Yeah.
He's got no Ravage. He's TP'd in short of the mana. And underneath No Tail as well. Like, they can keep draining out the mana too.
Good deny.
So they get the denial on the tower. Life will not be traded.
It's a mid-tower lost minute 7, though. Huskar lost his tower. And Furion is about 1,000 gold ahead of the Tide, which is considered a decent Tide lane, but nowadays, Nature's Prophet obviously is a very strong laner.
With early phase boots too. His range damage. 82 plus 34 on the Nature's Prophet at the moment. Even if you can anchor smash the treants, you're not going to get the hero.
They were trying to gank Ana, but he was TPing out in the trees, and the moment he jumps back down, they're actually giving up on the kill. So now OG are just going to put the pressure top. Well, what do? You don't have that good wave
Partos
clear.
has already come in. Like, he must be... Like, he burned the shrine, so he had the mana to fight. But he can't defend this by himself.
Well, he probably can, but he's just standing here.
No Tail will just walk over.
Oh, maybe not.
Wrath of Nature bouncing through, but trying to attempt the maximum damage. They've still got the Purge available too. Just hexing up the Tide Hunter. He's got the mana for the Ravage. Here comes Karkor and Alicia.
This seems like something OG does quite a lot, you know? They just pressure this guy, make 2 heroes TP, and they just back off. They're like, mission accomplished. Okay,
Well,
just
Anna's
move to
got
other
space,
lanes.
right?
Yeah, Anna's got space. Nature's Prophet just goes, he's like, fine, you guys want to use your TPs? Well, I have 2 TPs, so I can move more than you. And now he's going to go mid and push this wave out, and the Dire again on the back foot have to take care of wave clearing. Currently, Thompson is just sitting alone top and pushing this wave, and there's 3 heroes just standing here from Kinguin that can't really do anything.
Yep.
It's not looking good.
At least the Enchantress is okay on the offlane by herself. But the Huskar seems to be living in a world of fear. He's still only got 1 point up in Berserker's Blood, so he doesn't have a lot of shielding.
Ravage top. I didn't reach!
Wait, he didn't hit Wind Ranger?
Oh,
No, paging Shiva.
That's right. But they're getting desperate. Like, they feel like something has to happen because they are not being very efficient on the map, so they're forced to go for these kind of crazy moves, like trying to ravage a Wind Ranger without even being melee range, and he didn't manage.
I don't even know how you really get that off. Now he's got no, without the Ravage, you know, Thompson want to fight. They had to follow up, Sun still don't have level 6 on No Tail, but that's the reason why Anna rotates in. Spend most of his time farming, now he can spend his time killing. I say that when he's actually 4-0. Like, he's taken over half of the kills of OG.
The Dire team is TPing up 2 heroes. They do cancel the Enchantress TP, but now they're, once again, they're stuck. They're just stuck up here.
Forward,
we'll get a kill.
Break onto No Tail. Underneath that observed what Nisha saw, the jump. But now they get, they also get the runes.
Was that all 4? Yeah.
Yeah.
They got all 4 runes and forced them up there. Big win.
And you lost a Lion. That's the trade-off.
Can they
Not to mention their aggressive observer was already down. They can see all the movement inside the Dire jungle. So even if Kinguin want to walk off the lane to save their TP out, like, it's already been spotted.
Well, they failed to gank their bottom OG. They were looking for the Enchantress with the Purge creep, but didn't cast it or wasn't in range, and No Tail was a bit too far away. He has his level 6 on this Lion, so wants to ideally just blow up this Ench with Finger of Death. And it's gonna hurt like that. That's a good way of doing it. Penitence.
That was 100% to 0. Nisha's dying in the meantime because Seb's Wrath of Nature were connected on him. Thompson was chasing him.
That's Penitence plus a full Lion Burst on a 700 HP hero. You die.
Oh. Tidehunter's in trouble as well. Still has no Ravage. They control him in the Sprout. You wait until the time that Orca comes in from Nature's Prophet. Partos says, like, there's too much damage, there's too much control, there's too much of a creep wave. Like, the whole panel was saying it, right? How the hell do you counter push? You try and find kills, but then OG just taunt away on the bottom lane. There's always a Sem back, and then you look towards the top lane. Huskar's TPing in. Anna's TPing out, but Jirax, Penitence is out.
Oops.
Anna's already jumped back. Jirax a little bit too far away from the rest of his team. And the Purge Group's trying to buy some distance. The Searing Chains, Hand of God. Jirax still has the life of the TP towards the Shrine. VS wants this. And he'll have it. Magic Missile to ensure the kill.
T-Rex was blocked by his own creeps for like a good 3 seconds. That's why he got jumped by Nisha. A bit of a miss micro there, but it's not the biggest deal. They still got a tower. The rotation is still forced regardless, both Venge and the Oracle coming in, and Ana will be getting out of there just fine, I think. Oh, he's starting to drop really low. Nice. He's
bottle charge is available.
Yep. He has the boots of travel, so again, OG with just the understanding of what Kinguin's lineup needs to do and can't do. So now both Ember and Nature's Prophet will be pushing lanes very effectively, splitting up the map.
I can't believe, like, the net worth all three of them have got. Like Wind Ranger as well. Thompson's found so much time just to farm in the lanes as well. That's a 6.6k net worth Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, Seb's got an Orchid, minute 12. Orchid phase, Aquila. He's rich. He's going to TP back to base to pick it up, and now he has the TP spell.
I'm interested like who his priority target is in the fights with the Orchid. Lion, trouble, no tell. Probably wasn't expecting that many heroes get swapped up the hill. And not taking any chances for him to run away. Yeah, but do you actually target the Oracle at the start of the fight so there's no false promise? There's no way for the Huskar just to stand.
Oh yeah, they also have Focus Fire against Ench. That's pretty convenient too. We didn't talk about that earlier. It's a core Ench, so being able to kill her off like this is very useful. He didn't manage, but again, it's this pressure play, right? He goes on the Ench, they TP in to help, and Thompson just backs off. They don't have catch. Like, nice. We'll just force you around the map. Ember's pushing in top, Fioren's pushing in bottom, and Kinguin are like, screw this, we gotta get something. So now they're gonna ball down mid. But their Tide has to defend bottom. If he shows down here, they're gonna get jumped in mid. Oh, nice!
The Wrath!
Wow.
Hit him from range! Wrecked! Brutally, savagely! Even the Oracle can't get away from this one. He got silenced up, so there was no false promise save. Even if you thought about it, you couldn't do it in time.
That was beautiful timing. That was like pretty much perfect, the timing of the Wrath of Nature and Finger connecting at the exact same time for a huge burst. They weren't ready to help with the Oracle. He just got blown up. He was half HP, just killed him with everything at once. And then they TP in, get bonus kills with the Orchid, and now they're gonna get Rosh. And if Dire don't get this Rosh, we talked about it in the draft, they need the Roshan to snowball this lineup. Yeah, this game is looking absolutely terrible for Kinguin.
They are so far behind. They do not control the map. They at least have an invis room for a Tidehunter and no sentry wards at Roshan, but what they don't have is time for Tide to reach it. He can't. Well, okay, swap up. The stuns are out. And, well, they're going to send Ember back first, but he's still got that that spirit inside the pit. So no tail taking the sacrificial role. The solo role.
Oh, remember when you said you should check in minute 10?
Yeah.
We're past that point. But I could have told you minute 10 this was looking real bad. So
I thought you were saying that minute 5.
I was also saying minute
they
0.
can get the kill. He's inside the Sprout. Ravage?
It's a big kill.
Something? Alright,
no.
they got him.
Oh.
Wait, no! He died on neutral creep!
The one Centaur. The big Centaur got him. They aggroed the Centaur with the Wave of Terror, and it ended up getting the last hit.
Oh.
I'm surprised, considering how much OG used their chat wheel, I'm surprised they didn't use any there.
Yeah,
that
offensive tipping.
Yeah, tip the Centaur. Tip the neutrals, man. Thanks for the help, buddy.
Have we got the world's smallest violin to play for Kinguin right now?
That was such a big
going from
kill,
bad
too.
to worse.
I was like, finally something good for them, because this is the highest net worth hero in the game, and they kill him with 2 heroes, and it goes to the Centaur creep.
Oh, Lord.
No, they found Tide.
And they're going to kill off Bartos. Double TPs are coming in. But is there commitment? Seb's doing his TP. Wrath of Nature already bounces through that Focus Fire. Yeah, that looks totally balanced.
Only the Javelin procs deal damage to Tide and Focus Fire. Apart from that, Kraken Shell absorbs everything, so he needs a lot of Javelin procs and a lot of time to kill him. But against every other hero, the Wind Ranger Focus Fire is great this game. Here in TP top.
Oh, he's got the Orchid available. Armlet turns it on before the TP begins, but Searing Chains Anna arrives just at the right time. And they're going to pop the Huskar. That is creepy.
I like
it's so creepy. Funnily creepy. Well, Tide has a Blink Dagger, so they got Initiation. Does Kinguin have smokes ready? They got 1 smoke on the Vengeful Spirit they could potentially use. But they're also losing bottom lane. almost too easy for Thompson just to keep the pressure on bottom lane. He's got the Observe Ward for protection. He's got Seb who can TP in at a moment's notice. Even Ana with BTs they're just so global.
They just keep the pressure on. There's just not much the Dire can do, right? Their waves are getting pushed in now. They've lost map control. They are playing a Huskar lineup. Oh, hang on. Mid lane, Lesage is gonna die. Look, man, they're playing a Huskar lineup and they haven't taken tower minute 17. That is an indication of what happened this game.
Enchantress is gone. Is the Orchid pop? No, actually with a surprise. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Thompson can still finish the job, but hey, they got him kill! They got a big core kill.
And they're losing their mid tower at the same time.
Okay, issues, Cinderin. Stop focusing on the negative.
Good for OG. OG are getting a mid tower, Toby. That's great.
I like it.
Nice.
I like it. That's the positive.
Good deny. Good deny by Kinguin, Toby. That's good.
Clutch against Bros.
It's just rough, man. Like, there's not much else to say. They're trying something crazy in these two drafts, and both of them just, let's be real, they just haven't worked.
Yeah.
Both of the drafts, they were very different, and I feel like both of them they lost, and they also got outplayed on top of it. OG are looking very dominant in this series, as many people would have expected. So...
yeah, I did wake up this morning thinking that this is going to be a pretty quick game. Just because, like, OG's performance throughout the group stage was... like, they were on the same page. As far as, like, OG goes, back when Fly and S4 were in it, it always felt off in a lot of ways. Like, the teams had a different idea of how they would win a game. But this OG just seems a lot better. Even positioning in team fights is 10 times better.
But definitely, they found their way of playing, for sure. Playing aggressive and playing fast, I think, is something No-Tail really enjoys. So he gets to play these, like, playmaking supports, and the rest of the team just follows through and wants to go for fights. So, yep, absolutely, they're gelling very well. And I'll be honest, like, if there was something I could hold onto for the Dire here, I would be talking about it. Like, I'm honestly just not seeing the play. If there was one that I could advise them to do, I would do it.
You did the best thing you could at the very start of the game, being optimistic. But like we were all talking about during the drafting phase, like how you meant to execute this draft well, and like it feels the same type of thing where Kinguin, hey, we need to have a fight, we need to force a team fight, or we need to be able to get kills with Nisha. It just doesn't ever really come to fruition. Like the Talon gets the Blink Dagger late, the Faceless Void came in late. This time they actually have more damage, but they don't ever have the team fights because they never have the positioning, and now they're going to lose Carcore as well. Locked inside of a Sprout, the power shot from Thompson, thanks for kill securing. They're actually going to swap in No-Tail, but he gets a double stun. Finger of Death off
good
Carcore,
Ravage.
creates a space with the Ravage. That Blink Dagger does do some work finally, and Sebas the Sprout up with the Sleight of Fist here and change. Ana going to town. They need to stop Exotic Deer. These Spirits, the Lancers, are doing too much work, and that's one way to do it. Sleight of Fist out. Partos is the sole survivor. And if they did this fight 10 minutes earlier, it would have...
He's still not a survivor. No.
Okay, yeah, no. Triple kill for Thompson.
They even buy back the Venge, but it's too late, and he's TPing out. So that's just another buyback. That's basically 5 kills and a half, right? Because you also got a buyback that did nothing. And that was the best moment of the whole game for Kinguin, and they still got rolled. Because this time they got a 3-man Ravage. Finally, they get to use it after 20 minutes. OG walk into a fight that the Dire wants, but the discrepancy is too big now. If this fight would have happened 10 minutes ago, the Dire could have definitely won it. But the net worth difference is just... they're too far ahead on items.
Yeah. And there's no easy answer to it. Like, taking these fights, sure, but now that's the Blink reveal. That's the Tide Ravage that hits. OG will not allow this to happen again. Like, they were very clustered walking up that stairwell.
And the reason I'm saying that I don't see the play for Dire is that this is the thing that they need to happen, right? Like, they actually need a 5-on-5 fight where Tide gets a great Ravage and they get to kill people, but it's not in their control. That's why it's a difficult play to recommend. You can't just be like, tell OG and all chat to meet in the river. Like, that's basically... you can't force OG to take this fight. It needs to be OG's choice.
Oh boy, and they're going to lose the Tide Hunter as well. At least he can crack and proc, walk away a little bit faster, but trapped inside trees. The silence of the Vengeful Spirits, no swap out. Meanwhile, Thompson's taking his own engagement. So they kill the Tide Hunter up in the lane. Thompson almost, in fact, does kill Exotic Deer with the death power shot. Nisha gets something out of this fight, but Penitent Man shall not pass. Husker up onto the hill. Anna is hunting the back lines. So say goodbye, really, to Kinguin. That's them done in this winners bracket, in this upper bracket. There's 5 heroes down. They're being double racked because Seb's already TP'd down to the bottom lane.
20 seconds before they even stand a fighting chance here, because Oracle will spawn 10 seconds before everyone else. Have we seen False Promise cast this game, by the way? I don't think so. It's been 22 minutes.
No.
He had an opportunity there to cast it on the Tide, and he was mid-animation, but got stopped. He wanted to cast it as late as possible, and then they just bursted the Tide instead. And then he got killed after.
There just seems to be too much interruption, that's all. Like, and even if they were moving forward, like Anna's even built to Silver Edge. He's got the money to buy it once the courier goes to the side shop, so they're going to break the Huskar as well.
Or the Tide.
Or the Tide Hunter. Yeah, there's no protection.
So what did they get here? They got a tier 3 and a melee Rex, and they got 2/3 of a tier 3 bottom. Oh, they're chasing No Tail.
Yeah,
has 6 out of his team's
stun available. He's
12
draining out
deaths.
the mana, but he's being sent back and still gets the double stun.
And Seb is just pushing in bottom. So the Dire once again going to be grouping up as 5 and running from lane to lane.
Kill. Oh, okay. Ravage forward. Clips the back line chamber, then Sleight of Fist. The power shot. It goes so hard through the Enchantress as well as the VS. And they're not even being buffed up. He just has the 100 power shot bonus damage. Right, Seb's being systematic. He's getting rid of these shrines.
Yeah, that Ravage use is Elena Rax, probably. If OG want it, they can look to push a second lane. They could go to bottom. They can also keep map controlling and get the next Roshan if they like. The whole game is basically completely under their control.
Well, Roshan's a minute and a half away. So that gives time at least for the Ravage to come off. Actually, they'll come off cooldown by the time OG push high ground. If they wait for Roshan.
Yeah. EKB on Huskar, this is finally something that will help them out a little bit, but it just feels too little too late. BKB is an item that Radiant don't have many solutions for. Only really the Focus Fire will be able to break through Huskar, but not even that, because it will block the Maelstrom procs as well, and Wind Ranger's damage is not that significant just yet. So, at least Nisha will stay alive in a fight if he gets one. Man, you played Oracle Huskar for 25 minutes and you have an Oracle ulti the Huskar. Like, think about that for a second, how ridiculous that is. Damn. That's their strategy. Their strategy actually hasn't been used yet, the whole game.
So when it's used, everything will change. Everything will come up roses. I love it. Positive thoughts. Winner thoughts. That's how you get to TI.
I think you draft differently than this to get to TI.
To get to TI? Yeah.
That's my professional opinion on these two games, is that you don't pick like that. And you also have to play better. I think under even circumstances, OG is still favored, because their execution and their game understanding is better than Kinguin's. That means if you go into the series and you do something crazy in the draft, which I like if you feel like you're an underdog and you come up with something creative and you want to try it, you try it. But I just don't think their ideas were good enough. So.
Oh, Anna's not giving up on this bottom tower. He keeps going in by himself.
Huskar's
back
TP
actually got cancelled, so yeah, he actually finishes the tier 3 tower on bottom lane. And Anna goes into Silver Edge, so he's looking to hit Exotic Deer, but now there's no one touch. We'll beat through him, and hey, False Promise!
Yep.
Saving the Enchantress.
That's true, that's the third hero they can Silver Edge the Untouchable away. That's also nice. Oh, he stays alive. That's a False Promise and a Roche for the Radiants.
Yeah.
This one has cheese. And I do believe this cheese will be going to Thompson, and they will put the Aegis on Ana.
Take your bets. Anna gets Aegis, and Anna gets cheese.
He's probably going to pass it on, though. Or maybe they want to have both.
BT to that creep on bottom. There's just a set of Mind Stealers sitting there. So he's always got a unit that you can just bounce back to bottom lane on.
That's really nice. Nice little detail from OG there.
And Anna, under the sentry wall. He knows he's visible. He wants to hit Nisha. It's the only place they can sit. Sit underneath the sentry wall, protecting the bottom lane of Rax. Split push is on. Ty's defending top, so you don't have the Ravage on bottom lane just yet. At least they've got it off cooldown. But they're letting bottom lane go. Beating into the melee. Is this the time when you want to jump, Nisha? Prophet starting second on top, the double shackle. Perfect from Thompson. Here's the power shot, so yep, no false promise again. The Huskar will buy back in, and Anna, the send back doesn't actually happen in time. They'll have to actually just burn the Aegis to the Immortal. Thompson a little bit too deep by himself, but the top lane of Rax is gone. Seb finds the kill into the Tidehunter in the back line, so no Ravage, no AoE control. The TP out from Seb. Thanks to his BKB, he's protected enough that he does survive. Unfortunately for the VS, it is not the same story. And Enchantress will burn down Anna. Give a little bit of extra Maelstrom proc just to make it work. And Prophet's already back to the front lines, feeding into the tier 3 towers just to end this game and get themselves that winner's bracket match. Unfortunately for OG, there weren't 3 slots in the EU qualifier, so they don't go directly through the group stage, and there's only one.
It finally happened.
Hang on, he died?
They were sending him back with Chen, but he got purged by Oracle. I was like, oh, wait a second. I'm not going back to base. But it does not matter. Absolutely destroyed by OG. Well, that was a quick series to start the day. We still got plenty to go. This is a 4-series day in the EU playoffs. Every single series except the grand finals will be played today, I do believe. So this was the first upper bracket semi, and there's the second one, the upper bracket final, and the lower